In Consumer Corner, we take a look at the trends and products creating a buzz here in China. On today's show, we'll discuss how the country's monopolized enterprises affecting pricing mechanisms in China. Petro China, which occupied over 70% of domestic natural gas supplement, recently issued an emergency natural gas limitation order in May, claiming that they considered the insufficient imported gas resulting the short supply in west to east gas transmission. The pipeline natural gas in North China will be in limited supply from May 1st. Other provinces like Shandong and Shanxi also received similar notice on that day. However, the Petro China excuses on limitation in natural gas supply seem to be ridiculous, considering most natural gas used by those provinces are usually not the imported natural gas from west to east transmission, but the pipeline from Shanxi to Beijing. Therefore, the natural gas supplement so far should remain in liberal quantity. More interesting thing is that according to the survey conducted by the reporter from the Economic Information Daily, this natural gas limitation order issued by Petro China was actually a remedial measure to meet the standard of loss mitigation plans, which announced by the State-Owned Assets Supervision and Administration Commission. Some insiders questioned that Petro China was in fact trying to make people nervous about the short-supplied natural gas so that they can make use of that as an excuse to force the state to raise its price. This is not the first time that Petro China raised the natural gas prices at random. Ironically, at the end of this March, the National Development and Reform Commission declared at that time that no natural gas price rises would happen nationwide. Just 2 days later, on April 1st, in Changchun City, they experienced a 40% increase in natural gas prices, followed by Jiangsu and other provinces. When the people complained about being fooled by the NDRC, they seem to fail to take into account that the fact is that Petro China who is manipulating the entire country. As one of China's biggest monopolized enterprises, they certainly would inflate profits through rising natural resource prices at random. If the price increase requests are rejected by the people or local governments, they still can force the country to raise natural resource prices through the resource limitation order strategy. Profits would never be a problem for enterprises like Petro China. However, the question here should be, is Petro China really controlling supplies to keep the price high? According to Petro China's financial statistics in the first quarter this year, the natural gas sectors of Petro China lost $2.15 billion. However, China has given Petro China an annual subsidy of over $2.5 billion, an amount that is far more than its losses, not to mention its profits in the petroleum sector. Aiming at this incident, many people showed their opinions on the internet. One poster wrote, quote, "Is that possible for such a monopolized enterprise to actually be losing money in this? None of the Chinese people would actually believe it. Look at the Petro China's office building. Look at their salaries and welfares. Look at its parking lot under its office building. All of these are proven that no way Petro China is in bad shape." Some netizens complained about China's monopolized enterprises like Petro China and never think of the people but only focus on inflating profits. Quote, "The U.S. enterprises usually earn money from other countries to benefit its own country and people, while China's big enterprises like Petro China always damage its people's profits to earn money for themselves as well as for foreign countries." Some people believe the monopoly caused this situation. Quote, "If we let the private enterprises join in the natural resources markets and break the monopolized system, no one could ever force the government to raise the prices by some ridiculous natural resources limitation strategy." One netizen even sarcastically indicated, quote, "It's been so easy to be an executive in SOEs, considering things like the extra dividends they turned over to their country. If they are making money, all the profits belong to them. If they are hurting, all the losses will be paid by their country and the people. Maybe those executives can still inflate some profits through the subsidies given by their country and people. What a nice job." If Petro China can reduce the frequency of its salary increases along with the salary of those extremely high-paid executives, maybe they can complain that the company is suffering. Besides, if Petro China chose not to spend so much money on office buildings, decorations, the luxurious business cars, overseas traveling, and to shrink its bloated management institutions, improve its efficiency, then the profit loss for Petro China would be impossible.